All right, welcome into the half, a 30-minute conversation here where we're going to talk about anything you guys want to talk about in the comments section. My name is Aaron Montgomery, and you can find me at our success group. This gentleman who flew in.
Last minute business.
How are you?
Doing okay.
Good. Well, tell people who the heck you are, sir. I know everybody knows you, but...
Hey, if you don't know who I am Erich Campbell, and you can find me at erichcampbell.com and talk about all things embroidery and decorating, but mainly embroidery and digitizing if you don't know.
Yes, mainly embroidery digitizing, but all things. We call it Batman
to a degree
because he is multifaceted. All right. Well,
I've done a little of everything. I don't know. That's not a lot of everything, but I've certainly done a little of everything.
Yep. All right. Well, here we go. Good afternoon to Crystal. Got here early, so didn't miss it. Thank you for being here, Crystal.
Thank you.
And Ramona, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So we hear you back there.
That's partially my fault, folks. I had to run in last minute. Had something going on outside of the office that had to get taken care of before I could be in here, because otherwise you'd be hearing what was going on outside of my office. So yeah, every once in a while, if you guys don't know, the life of doing stuff while other people are making noises can sometimes be fun. So yeah,
that's right.
That's right. Shut some stuff down to make sure you get quality half content.
That's right.
Awesome. This is a fun show. Come on.
That's right. We got a little interruption's no big deal. We're just here to chat and answer any questions that you guys have, or just comment and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So we're saying hi to everybody here still, and so we got Frank checking in
out in the UK. Frank, thank you for checking in.
Afternoon, and Sheila checking in. Good morning for Sheila. And Sheila Wooten.
Sheila.
Hello. So Sheila Ryan before, and now Sheila Wooten. We got the Sheilas joining us. Thank you.
It sounded like an Australian show for a minute there. Bad joke. See, bad joke. Dad jokes are just strong with us at this point. We do dad jokes so much we can't hardly get over it.
We've taken on that persona, and I think we've owned it pretty well. So,
I mean, if we have to,
that's right.
We have to.
All right. So we've got Barb checking in. Good day, everybody, and then hello, Eric. And hello,
everyone. All right, I'll stop here. I got a lot of Aussies that I really love. I mean, love you guys, but sometimes it's funny. Okay, I'm just saying, if you can go get brekkie from a Macca's, that's funny. I don't care who you are.
I love
just
it.
Say it, guys. All right, sorry.
All right. We're good. All right.
Chuck
and
says,
then
afternoon.
Oh,
so thank you, Chuck.
Yep. Good afternoon, Eric.
Good afternoon to you too.
Yeah.
So if you guys didn't see what we had going on this morning to other guys, I just want to recommend once again, if you guys are on hashtag replay squad, get over there to your other guys and check out Stan Banks talking about t-shirt side hustle. Man, energetic, cool stuff about new people coming into the industry and people who are coming from kind of home-based business as well. So really interesting stuff this morning to your guys, really inspirational. And I can't recommend enough that everybody gets out there and checks it out. So really good episode. And good message from that I think we could all talk about. Starting where you're at. You cannot steer a parked car is the way I always like to say this one. We can sit here and talk about where we're going to point our wheels, but we're really not going to know how we go or if we can reach our destination the way we expect to until we start moving. So yeah, some good stuff from Stan on that. So I really, like I said, recommend go back, check out two other guys this morning. Really great episode and something that I think people will be revisiting as we get through the podcast version.
Yeah. It was a really great version. And Eric, I like your quick analogy there. You can't steer a parked car. The story I always like to tell, and I need to, because I'd like to tell it so much, I should probably go get more actual details on it. And I will. So
of course,
you heard it here. We'll make sure that I get more specific details. But the quick version of it is there was a person in college that was taking an advanced math class. He showed up late to class. There was an equation on the board. that he thought was the homework. And he went off and worked for however long the class was to solve that equation. Well, after he solved the equation, he came to find out that the teacher said, no, the reason that was written on the board was that was the supposedly unsolvable equation. And because he didn't know any better, he didn't have the same understanding of everybody else that it was not solvable. He thought it was solvable, and he solved it and actually solved that equation. So it's that same kind of beginner's mindset, right? A lot of times people worry that, oh, I'm new into this, or I'm getting started. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And therefore I can't do the things that the more experienced people or doing the quote unquote experts are doing and stuff like that. The reality is that's not true. They've got challenges where, we talked with Stan earlier too about the, kind of the way it's always been done. Oh, you've got to code a screen with two hands versus one hand or whatever. Just because it's the way it's always been done doesn't mean that it can't be changed. And so that beginner's mindset actually is something that more experienced people need to find themselves looking to as well. So I thought that was a really good tip today.
Oh yeah, I think that's something I get into pretty frequently with embroidery, because people have this concept of never doing anything that's not immediately profitable and saleable. And I'm not saying that you don't focus on it. We're big on knowing your numbers. We're big on making sure that you're making a profit.
Yep.
But the creative solutions, the new treatments, the new textures, the new looks are born out of people playing, and in kind of a consequence-free way. You have to give yourself time to play with things. In fact, something I'm going to talk about today on my show later on the Take Up. I played with a little bit of texture. I only took a little bit of time on it. It's not a fully refined treatise on what we do to make this particular finish, this kind of textured rough finish.
Yeah.
But literally somebody said, hey, I've got this thing. I'm trying to do something interesting, but I want to do this textural kind of fill, and I want to do it really fast because it has to be something where I can grab a set of lettering and apply to it, and I don't want to be doing a big manual digitizing process.
Yeah.
I went and played with this thing. And, I made a new process, but is this process perfect? Probably not. Does it need a little bit more work? Probably yes. I'm going to throw it out in front of people so that they can see what I did and how I did the steps, because when we all bring that stuff out and bring it together, we can kind of jam on that process together and come up with new things. Also, this is me after 20 years of digitizing saying, yeah, I go and just play with software and just run stuff out and see what comes out of it.
Yeah.
All the time. That is a regular thing that I do, is just see what kind of output I can get with the tools that are in front of me.
Yeah.
That is part of my process. And it has been when I was doing constant work, when I was putting out, thousands of designs. Still, part of my week for sure all the time was to do this kind of play process. And I think that's something we kind of get away from sometimes. We forget to do that stuff. The good thing is there's so many creative people in the industry that you almost can't help yourself. The thing that I always have to make the definition between, it's like, know when you're doing an art project, know when you're doing a craft project, versus when you're taking on a job for someone that is becoming a craft project. Like, you're not getting paid anymore. And if you keep taking on those same jobs and you haven't figured out the efficiencies or figured out the pricing so it makes sense, there gets a time when you're always taking craft projects from a customer. But I think there are times where we can do those, and especially self-directed ones we work out on our own.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the classic one for screen printing is the shop shirt. The shop shirt is always where you get to play with new technologies and new stuff and different artwork and stuff like that. And I think that's something we shouldn't give up very easily. So
yeah,
make your shop shirt. I think that's always something to do. And I think that's funny enough. It's a way that some of us who are in the industry for a while can try and maintain that beginner mindset, is by letting that stuff go a little bit and trying some new things.
Yep. Yeah, I make all sorts of stuff. I wanted to try the big logo, the kind of Ralph Lauren style big logo,
It's
and
a big
see
polo
if it stood
style.
out more, right? Yeah, so I love it. All right, so Bevy Jean, hope everybody is having a great day. We hope you are having a great day also.
Absolutely.
And Yosa checking in from Sweden. Hello.
Happy to have you in, Yosa.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, guys, what questions do you have for us? What's burning in your world today? Here's something, Eric. Here's what I want to know from everybody.
Yeah.
What's a win that you've had this week?
Yeah. What's a win you want to celebrate?
What win? Yeah, and let's celebrate it. I'm standing up today, so we can get a little crazy and. But yeah,
Why not?
what's a
Yeah.
win that you guys have had this week, Eric? You got something that stands out to you that you could share?
If I have a big win for this week, I'll say this. If you guys don't know, I work for Brilliance and I make
Hmm.
assets for Brilliance.
Yeah,
One of the things I did, we had a big software launch last year that kind of went pretty well for
yeah,
Merrily, which is like a patch creation software, and
yeah.
I did all the fonts for that. Like the
Sweet.
fonts that are in that, I did all of them by
Wow.
hand. I created them and also kind of did all the curation, the direction, and the digitizing for those
Yeah.
fonts. And I saw somebody who did this project this week. They shared it online where a coach was retiring, and to give this coach a giveaway, a kind of a send off, they embroidered 120 names of all of his like star players on the sleeves of a rugby shirt, and they used my small fonts for it, and every one of them looked good. I mean, and I can say that like categorically, not everything you do looks great. All of them very small along the sleeves of this rugby shirt. All 120 names looked clean and legible and lovely at small sizes, and they specifically called out the fonts for it. And I was like, that is a big win. That's where a scalable, sizable thing that you make that people are just going to abuse whatever way they want. And believe me, this was an abuse. It was just text all the way down both
Wow.
sleeves, and
Wow.
that was like super cool, super clean, and I was proud that I had a part of that project. So
There you
there's
go.
my big
Nice.
win for the week. I mean,
Woo! Good
that's
job,
what I
Eric.
like.
I like
Thank
it.
you.
Yes, raise the roof, whatever
So,
you do. Yeah, let's celebrate.
but then let me turn it to you. What's your win that you want to celebrate this week, sir?
Oh man. Okay. Get the big win. I think the win that I'm most proud of right now is I got. I worked really hard this week on trying to make sure that we pinned everybody down for skills. It's only a month away, so
Skills
just need to make
USA.
sure that we got everything there.
Yes.
And this was huge. All of the people supporting. So I mentioned them on two of your guys earlier, and like I said, I will get a list and formally recognize everybody.
Yeah.
Sawgrass and Condi and all these other people, but Stalls and Hotronics stepped up in a huge way. Three, sorry, that's four. Three 16 by 20 presses,
Wow.
caddies,
Nice.
and other supplies will be showing up to be used at Skills USA. I've got some other presses coming in too. I think Insta's going to be able to put one in there also. So we'll be trying to show the whole breadth of the industry. But
Nice.
not only are they sending those in to be used, they are donating those as prizes.
That's awesome.
I mean, that is huge.
That is huge.
It's massive. So that's my big win. There you go. Yep,
Skills USA. Now, I'll make a
skillsusa.org
bit.ly link. I didn't get it today, but yeah, skillsusa.org is the big one to find out here. But guys,
Yeah,
go check that out and see all the cool stuff Aaron's doing. But I know you also may still need some folks to help.
I do.
So,
We've got some judges. Probably could use one or two more. Just we can make it work with what we've got. I think I'm at 6 right now.
yep.
And so like Kristen is in here and she's going to be out there. Dottie
Nice.
Lancott is going to be joining us.
Very
My
cool.
wife Kylene is going to be one of the judges. I've got Nick from ISW, Olivia from Sawgrass. So I think I'm missing somebody. I think. Anyhow, lot going on.
A
Lot
lot,
of
a lot to keep in the air, man.
yeah, exactly. So we can manage with what we've got. Oh, David Gross from Connie. That's who I was missing.
Watch.
How could I miss David?
How can you miss David Gross?
Do not
Come
tell him I missed. All right.
don't tell him that.
All right.
Go.
It is here on video, but so yeah. So we've got people, but there's 8 stations, but it's 2 days, so we can probably just we'll have different stations different days. But if I had more, we can kind of spread it out a little bit and have timekeepers and stuff like that. Plus, I'd love to. It gets real intensive if you're kind of there the whole time. I'd love to be able to kind of get the judges have some off time to go look at the rest of the.
For sure.
This is taking up all 3. If you've ever been to the Georgia World Congress Center, it's a massive convention center. I mean, it's probably one of the biggest ones that I've been in outside of Europe. Some in Europe are a lot bigger, but they're taking up all 3 of their convention halls. And so it's going to be incredible.
That's immense.
Yep, for sure. So,
all
big
right. Win. So getting all those prizes locked away,
Yep.
getting those people who are showing up, that's a big win, man. It's awesome. That's awesome.
Huge win. I was so grateful, and just
so
really
good.
really kind of rounded out my week to have those parts and pieces start really coming together.
Well, and what I love, we also get to celebrate the people who are helping. That's the thing. It's like it's our wins, but we're also like celebrating these people who did this cool stuff that we got to be a part of. So it's a community win. It's a win for everybody. So I love that stuff.
For sure.
That's
all
the
right.
best.
Let's see what other wins we've got from the folks tuning in here.
Yeah,
the Halfites. Is that where
no,
we haven't come up with a good name yet.
I don't think we have a name for that, but we're happy to have you guys in.
Yeah. Rich, hello. All right. Ramona says, I need to get a custom mug made. Aaron, Todd, and Ramona, we got you. I'll get with Kylene and we'll get you taken care of there. We'll get
people are making orders on stream.
That's right. I put out my first live stream to introduce my upcoming live coffee and conversation. So that's a win. Yes.
That's a super win. Come on, Ramona.
I love it. I'm super excited to see that. I know she's been working hard to get it right. I had an opportunity to share some of my information about how to do this stuff at the DAX show, and Ramona was in that class. So she's doing some incredible things.
Ramona too. Yeah. She's also doing the right thing, which is if you know somebody who does something you want to do, go ask. She's been doing that, and that's the way you do it.
Yeah.
Trust
me.
Doing
a great job. Here we go. The rugby shirt is definitely a win.
Because I mentioned it, and I'll go ahead. I want to give credit to the person who does this. Online, we sometimes share stuff. I don't share stuff like on the commercial pages that I ask in first, but this one I think is fair. It's been shared. This is Nicole Parra-Taylor. There's the rugby shirt. So if you guys were wondering what I'm talking about, that is a lot of that's a lot of text. So you can see it on screen. I'll zoom in.
Wow.
That's a lot of clean, clear text out of those fonts. So proud of the Merrily fonts and the Brilliance team.
Holy cow, that is some amazing work.
But very proud. I want to say Nicole. So Nicole Taylor, thank you. I mean, like I said, it's on a private group, so I won't share much more than that. Let's go ahead and I'll pull that off screen and just get us back to us being there. But that's the shirt. I've asked her if we can share it more widely so that we can also give her some props for doing such a cool thing. For that
the actual finished work is incredible.
The actual finished coach work that she did for the coach is awesome too. And so it's like, and by the way, I'll just say that because she also made this clear is that the applique part is something that was already done, and she just added the text on the sleeves. So
cool,
but still incredible addition. You want to talk about personalization? That is the most personalization I've seen on one garment ever. So that is a lot of names, and well done, very well done. So we have a couple more wins that are here.
Let's get to those here. Let's see here. And, Sheila Wooten said, finally got 112s to sew out with wanting to pull my hair out. Huge win for I said 112.
Yeah, always. Yeah, we know him. That is a huge.
We won't even bring up the name. Let's just not.
Seems to be still it's worth knowing
for inverters.
Yeah, right.
Yep. All right.
Getting to be a dirty word. Yeah, no joke.
Yeah. Great job, Sheila. So let's get a little celebration in there.
Let's do this. Let's celebrate everybody. Yes.
Yeah. Here we go.
Where's the confetti? I mean, I need the confetti poppers. We need like a vira virtual of that to just.
I'll mail you some. I'm sure your wife would love that around the house.
I won't make myself do it. I hate vacuuming. Come on.
I've been banned from using them in the house anymore. That doesn't mean it's going to stop me, but I might. Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Todd says, I was told by someone that because of me, they are now profitable. No need to work the rest of the week. So there you go.
Nice.
Good job, Todd.
Nice.
Congrats.
All of us who educate. I had that same conversation one time. I remember distinctly somebody saying that I went from the business not going anywhere to being profitable and paying for stuff. And I was just like, you can't wish for more than that. Being part of someone making their livelihood is huge. So love it. Love it.
I do too. Awesome. All right. Kristen said, "Yay, Eric!" And she says, I wish I could get one of those presses. Yeah, I do too.
yeah, right. Nice.
All right. So win this week.
Yeah, Marta
digitized 10 designs for group of foster children and added lettering on 30 plus mixtures of towels, blankets, and pillowcases, and stitched and shipped. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Let's
very
celebrate
cool.
that. Good job.
Nice.
And Frank talking about the prizes from Hotronics. She just bought at Hotronics 16 by 20. What a great prize. Agreed 100%, Frank. So incredible of them to step up like that. Ramona, you're very welcome for the class. I'm glad that it was helpful for you. And then Sheila, I took out I took out on a large project, embroidering up and down both sides of jeans with custom embroidery, and it's coming out great. I took on
Nice.
one of those projects I've been avoiding, but I'm glad I finally jumped in there and accepted the job. Yes, nice job,
Awesome.
Sheila.
100%. Now,
Yeah,
that's the thing. Sometimes you do that. I mean, I'm not going to say that there aren't times we should stop and say, "Hey, this job isn't in our
yeah.
purview." I know that, but asking this, let's do the confession part of this. This is from a guy who a high end, the kind of luxury hotel said, "Can you embroider curtains for us, curtain boundaries?" And we had never touched anything like that. And
Wow,
the initial sample was done 16 inches at a time, manually removing the hoop for 9 feet of very, very expensive curtain.
holy cow!
Sometimes you take on jobs and you find out where you land once you get there. I ended up subcontracting it out once the digitizing was done to somebody who had a machine that was capable of doing the spans.
Yeah,
But sometimes you take those things on, you do your project, you figure it out, and you work on your efficiencies down the road. It was a cool job. I will say this though: sometimes after you do them, you look at the profits and go, "Well, I don't know if we're getting into that business ourselves. I
yeah,
can
yeah,
we can subcontract that one next
yeah.
time."
You,
But still,
you know,
sometimes you got to take those on.
yeah,
You
absolutely. And
never know.
here's the other part about that that sometimes I think people miss. I know I missed this in the past when
Yeah.
you look at that, right? You take on something and then you do it, and then you look at it in the rear view mirror, so to speak, and you go, "Gosh, I didn't really make a lot of money on that.
Sure.
What a failure." But the part that we forget to add in there is just think how much you learned in that experience, and nobody can ever
100%.
take away that from you. So now you have that knowledge, right?
Oh, yeah.
In the next time something like that comes around, how you manage, right? Do you turn it down? Do you charge more? Do you whatever? B, all the little things that you learned along the way that you
Yep.
could add into your existing workflow, right? That I mean, when you guys were rehooping at 16 inches at a time, you probably figured out some things about your hooping process too.
Oh, no, I'll tell you this. This is what I learned. I can actually tell you how it translated because I did that hooping process myself. So I actually ran this too. So even as a digitizer who I usually didn't run all the samples and project stuff, this is one of those ones where it's like Eric said he could do it, so Eric's going to do it. And I was back on the single head sampling machine doing this myself.
Yeah.
But suffice it to say, I learned a lot about how I could more efficiently handle alignment on things like that. And even though I didn't end up doing more of those big curtain spans a lot, I mean, did we do some other jobs like that? Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
learned a little bit about doing that. But I also certainly I found someone who I could subcontract to who then became a source I could go to. That's valuable in and of itself.
Yeah.
Finding someone who could handle that work. And the second thing is we ended up doing custom work on shirts that were panel program where someone else was sewing them together, but they wanted alignment markings and some other things to help with their cutting. And I learned how to do some things with the alignment and with the panels that made it a lot easier, and also with the hooping so that we could do these big edges that were eventually going to be worked into custom hand sewn shirts. And
That's
it was
awesome.
like that the process, you're right, the process of hooping, of alignment, of learning how to do wider format things that
Yeah.
take the entire span of a multi-head machine, that all became valuable to us down the road. So you never know what skills you'll pick up on a job like that. I'm not saying you do it for every job, but it is super great to take those on once in a
Yeah.
while and also just to stretch. The other thing is you never know when you put that sample up or when you show people that you can do it, that doesn't become your profit center. I can't tell you how many times it's like patches. Doing patches was never something that we thought of as a
Yep.
profit center. And then we started doing a lot of smaller end patches after we said yes to some jobs. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know every market that you might be good for until you try some of that stuff. There is a little bit of that feeling out process everybody should be doing.
Yep. Yep. I love it, Eric. Great information there. All right,
Mhm.
Crystal says, I don't even know what I've accomplished this week. Not a whole lot, it feels like. I was going
That
to say, and
happens.
you actually beat me to the punch here, Crystal, that I saw that you got started or you were working through the 5 keys program. So that's a huge accomplishment. Taking that first step, it can be a little bit daunting, and I know there's a lot of information there. But we get I get to see as people are working through it where they're at and whatnot, and so I think that's a huge accomplishment, and I think we should give
Yeah.
Crystal a round of applause for that. Nice job, Crystal.
Well, and that
And
education is part of the work.
absolutely,
I
yep.
mean, it's hard because we always want to check boxes. We want to check off things on the to-do list.
Yep.
We want to bring in cash for everything we do, and I understand that. Not every part of the work is billable. Not every part of the work is on a checklist, and preparation, education, getting yourself in the right space is all part of the work.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
And
ask
Eric, I mean, the other part about this too is when we're talking about celebrating, like what is it that you accomplished this week? I mean, there's going to be a wide range, right? I've had weeks where, things didn't go so well. I mean, the week before, if we were talking about Skills USA, I would have been like, oh my God, what am I doing?
There's some sweat. Yeah. I know. We talked about that. There's some sweat.
And so, but there were still things to celebrate, right? I still made some connections, still was able to kind of move forward and process. So wherever you're at is perfectly fine. That's a saying my wife uses all the time, and it's kind of finally started to sink in with me. Right?
That's a tough one. I'm just going to say it. That's a tough one to take, but yeah.
But every single person is doing the exact thing that they're able to do in that exact moment, right? With our current level of skills, knowledge, and ability in that moment, we did the best that we could. So it's this concept of going into things with very high intentions of the outcome, believing that we can do it and get there. But then after you're done, leaving it with very low attachment to the outcome, meaning if it didn't go so well, don't let that ruin your momentum, because like we just talked about, Eric, that learning that you have, you can't put a number on that. You can't put a price tag on that. You can't, it doesn't show up as a win when you're thinking about what the wins were for the week. But those wins are probably actually more important than the ones that we can kind of see and put a price tag on.
We kind of talk about that when we're talking about education. You go to the shows and everybody's like, oh, well, it cost me this much money to go do this show or to learn this class. Let's imagine for a moment that you learn how to remove 5 minutes of production stuff, the time out of each day that you wasted. Over the course of a career, how much money did you make? Even if you literally improved every day by 5 minutes. If you just eliminated 5 minutes of wasted time every day, but over the course of a 10-year run of doing this work, what would that mean to you? And it can be phenomenal. And it's certainly worth, number one, the whatever $60 to $90 you paid to get into a conference, to get into a seminar session. And it's most definitely worth taking the day to go do it. I think that's the thing. We don't realize that small incremental improvements not only build onto an entire body of learning that you have, that also all these little things, these little pieces of information you learn connect to each other and make these new novel kind of clumps of information and processes come together, but that it's over time. The improvement chips away at things over time, and you end up getting those benefits over time. It's hard to remember.
It is hard to
remember. Us, you and I, who do this all the time and talk about it all the time, we talk together about this all the time. We feel like we're spinning our wheels sometimes when we are in the process of refining something.
Exactly. It's that compound interest thing, Eric. I mean, if you're looking to put a dollar sign on it, it is compound interest, and that's what these opportunities are to learn and grow. And so, I agree with you on all that, where you put it. I mean, heck, you made me think of not this last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, we were able to do that training about automation inside of our success group. And the gentleman who presented it, he's an automation engineer, and he was, showed us a graph, right? The graph of here's how much time you're going to spend building the automation versus how much time you save, but you get to this break-even point. And then once you're at that break-even point, it's all, like you said, over the course of a career, over the course of a couple of years worth of saving that 5 minutes, saving that, that opportunity. So, we looked at that as all the ways you could kind of quickly keep up with your customers, all the ways that you can help your workflow kind of move forward without your interaction, right? And so just that same kind of thing. Education is the same way. Every time you learn and put something into something, that is that's a huge
even
benefit.
If it's just your first step, sometimes that breakthrough moment, getting the confidence to get past a barrier, that's massive. That's massive, because the next time you step up to bat, the next time you step up to do something, having that under your belt, even if all you did was just make the first step toward trying something you were worried about doing, like this big job that we're talking about, that Sheila took on, where she took on some big project that was bothering her, literally letting the needle fall the first time was probably that was a massive thing toward the next time a big project comes. That confidence will build.
I love it.
Even when you mess stuff up, like I said, I've messed up more garments than probably any of you guys. Don't feel bad. I've messed up more material than
you say you're the patron saint.
The patron saint of lost embroidery, because I absolutely have messed up plenty of garments because I push it too far. regularly.
There you go. Attaboy. All right, Crystal, you're very welcome. It's been on the back burner for many months, and
All
that's
right.
the other cool part I love about what we were able to do with the 5 Keys program is it's in your time. It's not going anywhere, so you get to it when you can. I find that there's a lot of value in actually working through it, and but obviously everybody's got different things going on in their lives, so that when we first started doing the 5 Keys, we were doing it as just a live program that then you can go back and watch later, and it's just like felt like something was missing. And so I think being able to do it into a module program like that where it's a chunk, right? So I can't remember how many Crystal got through, several for sure, but we're talking 5, 10, 15 minutes worth of video time. Doing the homework at the end, there's probably another 15, 20, 30 minutes depending on how deep you want to go with it. But that's manageable. I think you can bite that off in the course of a day.
Like, hey, that's what we got to say. You take the things as they come. You take small moments to make progress, and you just keep it rolling. That's the thing. You got to take the action, take every step, and it's worth taking some time to, thank you. I guess this small chunk is over.
Did you make the point? Are we good?
Take some steps, guys.
Get out there and take action, and keep celebrating those wins. There's wins. They're out there. Find them.
You're doing the work, folks.